Okay, welcome back to some Starsector. Sorry about the break between videos. I didn't expect PAX to take so much out of me, both getting ready for PAX and also actually going to PAX. It was pretty big this week. But I'm back and I'm ready to do some more videos, so we're getting this and some in on set this week. Now, between videos, I've done a little bit of work. I've been taking on a lot of requests on how to upgrade or change the Shade Frigate that we've got. So at the moment we're sitting with 3 anti-matter blasters and 2 Reaper class torpedoes on it. This gives it an insane alpha strike, so I should be able to use it in a much more of an ambushing style. It basically can't protect itself at all though, so it's all about using the phase at the right time. I've got the Grok here. I've done the best I can to try and bring down its weapon flux per second, but unfortunately the heavy blaster is just ruining that rating at the moment, so we need to find a replacement for this as soon as possible. I have swapped out the burst PD lasers for some IR pulse lasers and an ion cannon just to try and get the weapon flux under control. I have unfortunately had to keep the burst PD lasers on the Phage, which is a name suggestion from the comments. Everything else is kind of the same. We've got an IR pulse laser here as well. I have added expanded cargo holds and auxiliary thrusters and auxiliary fuel tanks to our shuttle so that it can do a little bit more in the fleet. And I've picked up a freighter, which I've just added expanded cargo holds and auxiliary thrusters to, and a tanker, which I've added expanded cargo holds and auxiliary thrusters to. So we've got a lot more storage space available in the fleet. And I think what we're going to look at doing in this episode is going a little bit out of our depths into the great dark unknown and seeing what we can find. Now, we are still carrying around a lot of ammunition and weapons, and I have done a little bit of trading on the black market, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to top up our fuel supply on the open market. I'm going to pick us up maybe another 100 supplies, I think. Let's actually go for an extra 200 supplies. They're not that expensive in this version of the game. And I probably want to pick up... There's actually no machinery for sale here, which is crazy. I was going to pick up some more machinery, but there just isn't any here. Let's confirm that. That's 29 grand down. We're down at 50 grand. I'd like to hold on to that for now. And let's work out where we're going to head to next. So we're currently in the Valhalla star system. If we have a look at the sector at large, we look at places we can hop to. And we can also siphon fuel when we're in Nebula. So this section of the galaxy here, or sector here, is looking quite good for exploring because we can get some fuel out of it. Whereas like over here, at the moment, we don't have ways to recover fuel. So we either want to cross the known space to get to here, or we could maybe try out heading to Venera or Milambu, which are red dwarfs, which are 100 odd fuel away. Now we currently carry, how much fuel do we carry in the fleet? 472 fuel. So we could, let's just leave and pause the game. We could get out there and back. We have enough fuel to do it. And if we're worried, we could like pop into these systems on the way. They've all been unexplored. So let's set our first destination as the TS system, and we'll just keep heading northeast and see what we can find. There's some missions we could complete, but I kind of just want to do some exploring and see how that goes. And I feel like we're in a decent enough position to do that. So we're going to head out and see how we... Now, we might get picked up by this hegemony patrol because we did do some black market trading, but it looks like they're going to leave us alone. Let's jump out to hyperspace. And we've picked something up over here. Is that thing that's been shadowing us? No, there's something here that isn't really moving. So let's find out what this is. There is a Wayfarer class combat freighter. So straight away we found something. You feel pushes a derelict ship, a derelict Wayfarer class combat freighter drifting through space. It is not recoverable. If I wanted to use a story point, it's pretty wrecked. It's going to come with 4 D-mods. I don't think I want to do that. Let's just salvage it. And we're going to grab... We should now have the cargo capacity to grab everything. And we can put stuff back if we don't want it. Not a huge pickup. We did get 1 heavy machinery, so we came with a net 1 heavy machinery. Everything else is not that valuable, but we'll pick up what we've got. Let's get the autopilot going on again, and we'll keep going on to Tia. And we will need to look out for our hyperspace beacons outside. Some of the systems have a beacon outside them, which warns us as to what's inside the beacon. We want to stay away from really difficult systems right now. Is this our jump point? This is our jump point. There's no sign of any beacon out here. This is the fringe jump point, so we get an idea of the system when we jump in. It could just be an abandoned system with nothing in it. Okay, we're in the system. There is an abandoned research station here. There's an irradiated world. There's a debris field, and there's a couple of stable locations where you could build something. Let's check out the debris field, the abandoned research station, and we'll just swing by the unsurveyed. We'll swing by Ogre to see what's going on there. We don't have a great fleet for salvaging right now. We don't have enough heavy machinery to do that properly, but we can at least pick up what we can. Monthly expenses, 850 credits. That's just unacceptable. All right, let's check out. This is a very small debris field, but we'll see what we can do. Let's do a scavenge. We'll assess. there's a pod. While making a preliminary assessment, you salvage crews find some occupied sleeper pods running on backup power. One by one, the pods begin to open as the thawing process completes. Unfortunately, it's been too long, or something went wrong on the way, and there are no survivors. At least not with any brain activity. And we get 5 happy meals, which is, I guess, something. We've got enough heavy machinery to do a salvage operation, so let's do that. Get a ton of supplies, decent amount of fuel, some machinery, some metals. That's fine. We've got some stuff. Let's head over to. Did I forget to pick the stuff up? Because those cargo pods there make me think that I did. I just left some fuel behind. Okay. Oh, I'm topped out on fuel. That's what the problem is. That's fine. I'm not going to bother putting them as fuel. Let's check out the abandoned research station, and then we'll move on to the next system. Because we don't think we've got enough machinery to do a full survey of Ogre and sell that data. Okay, you decided it's best not to even attempt docking at this station. Resembles a loose clump of debris more than does any kind of structure. All right, so there's nothing here for us at all. This station is pretty dead. There's asteroid belts here. What we'll do is we'll do a active sensor burst. Just see if there's anything else going on here. So looking down here, no pings back at us at all. There's nothing really happening here. So what we'll do is we will jump back into the sector map. We are currently in the Taya system. Is Texit in this system? Yeah, so it's a binary system. What we'll do then is we'll just set course out for Venera. We still have enough fuel to make it back and get to Yima if we need to. We're over cargo capacity and we're using extra supplies. That's okay. We've got tons of supplies right now. And we can easily dump some metals and stuff if we have to. Let's get our burn back online. And let's see what we can find further out. I'm really keen to do some exploring and find out what's like deeper in Starsector. I've always stuck to the central systems. I've never gone far out. I'm having a lot of fun with this so far. Let's order a jump. And let's see what's a little bit further out. We're heading out into unexplored space now, or at least unrecorded space. There's probably people out here. They just don't want other people to know that they are. Away from the civilized core sectors. There could be all sorts out here. People that love Happy Meals, for example. Oh, I don't need to go too slow just yet, but when we get close to this denser section, we will go slow just in case it flares up. I don't want to get hit by a hyperspace storm. We can also hold down shift to speed time up while we're traveling. I love the way all your ships in your fleet are represented as you fly along. I think that's really cute. Okay, there is something here. Let's turn off our advanced burn for the moment, and we'll just port over to it. Okay, there's a warning beacon here. A fully autonomous warning beacon contains a solid-state power system which enables theoretical operation and station-keeping half-life with an upwards range of hundreds of thousands cycles. The astute captain will heed its warning. So we've got an inner system jump point, the gravity well of this, an outer system, and a fringe jump point. I'm going to jump into the fringe jump point because I feel like that's the safest place to jump in. There's also 2 nascent gravity wells here, which we can use as entry points if we want to. But let's see what's in the system. Let's jump in. I'm going to save just because I haven't saved in a while. We've instantly got a ping on something. Well, that was a horrible screen. I apologize for that. Right, what do we see here? There's an unidentified sensor contact in orbit of this gas giant. There's 2 stable locations here. Let's zoom out a little bit. We should probably check out this unsurveyed world. We'll check out the gas giant too. And there's also a cryovolcanic world. So we've got a frozen world, a cryovolcanic world, and a gas giant. Let's head over this way. We've got basic data, but if we actually survey the planet, we'll get more data. This isn't moving, so it could be a debris field. It could be an abandoned ship. Let's find out what we're dealing with. Okay, we've discovered an equipment cache and something else. Something with active sensors. Let's go dark. Okay, whatever this is, okay. There is an unidentified fleet here that is dormant. Danger level is 3. There are 2 ships in this fleet. Now, we could sneak up, grab this equipment cache, and get away without them detecting us, which I think we're going to try and do, because if we can avoid a fight, that's all the better. We're actually out of their sensor range right now. Your fleet approaches an equipment cache, a cache of supplies, weapons, or other equipment drifting and forgotten until now. Salvage crews report a ship floating near the equipment cache. Closer inspection reveals it to be restored to basic. It could be restored to basic functionality. If not recovered, the ship will be scuttled, and any fitted weapons and fighter LPCs will be retrieved. This is a mud skipper. It is a civilian transport. It's useful if you want to carry around marines. At the moment, I don't really want to pick up a D-class mud skipper, so I'm going to say not now. We have enough heavy machinery and enough crew to perform a 130% effective salvage operation, so we'll do that. And let's see what's in this equipment cache. Okay, not a lot of stuff. So let's take a quick sip of tea. We've got some transplutonics worth 200 per unit, which is a lot more than a metal, so we'll grab those. There is recovery shuttles mod spec, reduces the casualty shuffled by fighter pilots by 75%. And if you S-mod it, it increases the pilot casualty reduction by 95%. Okay, we're definitely going to grab that. And what's this? Diabolic Avionics Weapon Blueprint Package. Enables heavy industry to construct the weapons from the Diable Avionics Corporation's School of Design. So all of those weapons will be available to us to produce if we get the ability to produce heavy weapons. Now we are over cargo capacity, so I'm going to grab all this heavy machinery. I'm going to grab this fuel. I'm going to grab these supplies, and I'm going to dump metals until we are under, and then we're going to confirm and continue. Whoa, okay, let's be very careful. I do not want to alert these if I can avoid it. We could probably take them in a fight, but what is the point in fighting if you don't need to? We'll just stealth away. Oh, we're actually in. They've actually detected us. I'm not sure if they properly detected us there or not. We may have been able to... Okay, there's something else in this belt. Just over here, there's another unidentified entity. A mining station. An abandoned mining station, once a source of wealth and industry to feed the worlds and works of humanity. A cursory scan indicates they've been cold and dead for tens of cycles at the very least, possibly hundreds. Closer inspection may yield salvage. Let's see what we can do over here. We're going to have to fly slowly through this belt. Okay. There is another unidentified contact here. So all of these facilities have been guarded by whatever these ships are. There's another unidentified contact here. Does this have... Yeah, okay. So we're coming between the detection. You might not be able to see it on YouTube, but there is... You can see their detective radius is kind of coming along here, and it's coming along here. There is a corridor between these two contacts where we can get into this mining station and find out what it's about. I'm just going to fly this really carefully. I don't want to get accidentally detected. Okay. Your fleet approaches a mining station. We've already read this. Let's explore. Deep within the bowels of the station, your crew finds an experimental variable commodity forge. It seems to be in passable shape and is missing a VPC. You do not have a VPC to slit into the forge. Consider returning when you have found one. Okay, interesting. I don't know if I should salvage this because there's a VPC in here. I don't know what a VPC is, but I think we don't actually have all the supplies for a full salvage here. And we are kind of full on, I think I'm going to go for salvage and see what we pull out. Supplies, fuel, machinery, lots of metals, tons of ore. Oh my god, that's a lot of ore. That is a lot. Is that still ticking up? That is still ticking up. Okay, and then, okay, we found some good stuff. We found a gamma core. A gamma AI core is capable of supporting most human endeavors. This is what we found last time. We've also found a beta core, which is worth a lot more than an alpha core. We could head back to TriTac and turn that in for a lot of money. There's also a research data bank here, not empty, and thus viable data units bearing late domain or early sector markings. The data inside is usually encrypted with algorithms either too resistant or otherwise too intensive to crack, and thus out of favor in contemporary sector, requiring both a setup and a know-how. The end user, however industrious or desperate to crack the code, will then have to figure out what to do with centuries of bookkeeping records on their hands. We also have a stabilized shields mod spec. Reduces the amount of soft flux raised shields generated per second by 50%. Does not affect hard flux generators or the shields taking damage. And then the S mod version converts 10% of hard flux damage to soft. That's very interesting. And then we've also got VPC for luxury goods. Remnant of a more advanced age, a Tritachyon variable production chip, oh that's the VPC we were looking for, enables the retooling of variable industries. Only Tritech would ever serialize non-serialized products. The relatively common chip contains handling production protocols for luxury goods. So this is all worth money. Let's grab the supplies, the fuel, the machinery. Now, I'm not going to take this ore with me. I'm not going to take these metals with me. There's 5,000 ore here, which is worth what? 50,000? That's good, but I think I'm going to go for the short-term gains on these, and I'm not going to worry about... We can put a beacon up to leave these in space, maybe come back here. I doubt that's going to happen. How far over are we? We'll dump metals. Okay, let's confirm and continue. Now, what I want to do is select these cargo pods, and we're going to put them into a stable orbit. It's going to cost us 26 supplies, but they'll stay here for 400 days if we want to come back. Now, we have to get away from... Okay, they've just pinged, but I don't think they're chasing us. These guys just went active. Okay, so these ones didn't detect us, but these ones have detected us. Are they going to pursue us? Okay, there's actually a debris field around... No, okay, we destroyed the station when we did that. Right. So maybe I should have double... It doesn't look like they're chasing us. Right, I'm going to pull out of here. Oh, okay, there's actually remnants patrolling the system. So not only are there's deactivated ones in this asteroid belt, but there's actually some ships patrolling the system as well. And I just destroyed a mining station that maybe shouldn't have destroyed. Let's get our engines going again. And what I'm going to do is we're just going to patrol the system. We're going to check out all of the planets and just see if there's anything in orbit of them. A lot of these planets may have once had populations, and they may have left behind goodies for us to find. We're already Doing very well here. Okay. There's an unidentified sensor contact here, and there's a hostile fragment patrolling around it. Let's go dark, and let's see what this is. So this is patrolling around the inner system jump point. So if we jumped in here, we'd have run into this straight away. And there is a dram here. Now, if this dram isn't too badly damaged, that's worth picking up, because that's more fuel for the fleet. Let's explore it. Ship recovery is possible. It has 1 demod, which is compromised storage. Not ideal, but if we have a look, it has 75% less fuel capacity than a normal dram. To recover, it's going to cost me 3 supplies and some crew. I'm going to grab this. I think it's a pretty decent pickup, but what we're going to do is, because it's badly damaged, we're going to mothball it straight away. So it's not going to be doing anything for us right now. It's just, we're just going to be dragging it around with the tractor beam. Now we'll slip away from the remnants that are guarding the control point. I don't want to fight whatever they are. Are they heading after us? They almost caught us there. We were right on the edge of the detection radius. So we've picked up a ship. We've picked up an alpha and a beta core. Let's speed our fleet back up again. And let's see what else we can find in this system. Just have to be very careful about how we approach each situation, keeping it nice and quiet. Like I say, we could go in guns blazing, but the more fights we get into, the more attrition our fleet takes, and the more time we have to spend on supplies to repair everything. Now, this planet has nothing in orbit. Let's just see if we can survey it. So we can perform a survey. A preliminary survey indicates that Kaysaar has a hazard rating of 150% on standard scale. We would need 250 crew to perform this survey. We don't have enough crew to do it, so we can't survey this planet right now. I could construct an outpost here. I don't want to do that. Let's leave. Now, there is another planet in this system. There is this cryovolcanic world over here. I would like to head for that if I can. And we have to watch out for that other remnant group that we saw on the way in. Why is emergency burn flashing? Some ships don't have enough combat readiness to safely initiate an emergency burn and may suffer, but that's because that's our mothballed ship. Same with a transverse jump. So we want to avoid doing anything too particularly violent. Now I'm keeping an eye on my... Okay, we've got something in orbit of the sun. If you look, there's a little triangle here showing we picked something up. Let's cut off our drives. And what have we got here? There's an orbital laboratory. An abandoned orbital laboratory. Stations like this were built to keep experimental tech away from prying eyes. A cursory scan indicates they've been cooled and dead for tens of cycles at the very least, possibly hundreds. Closer inspection may yield salvage. So let's see what's going on in this solar laboratory. Combing through long broken equipment, your salvage crews find a semi-functional blueprint database. It seems to contain a selection of frigate-sized hulls. You might be able to download one of them onto the slotted databank. Attempt the download. So we've got the choice between a Brawler TT gunship hull, a Protea frigate hull, or a Samash phase frigate hull. So the Brawler is a ship I've seen before, but not a Tritachyon version. This ship has been thoroughly overhauled by the Tritachyon Corporation. Tritachyon compliant software patches have been installed, which are fully integrated with the tripad status monitoring protocols, high-spec flux conduit upgrades performed, and weapon attachment points refurbished for mounting advanced weapons. So this is a ship with no turreted weapons. They're all point forward. It has decent hull. What's it been replaced with? Its abilities provides a brief but extreme boost to top speed, along with a slight maneuverability boost. 2 medium energy, 2 small synergy. Interesting. Or we've got the Protea frigate. This is a Knights of Ludd frigate. In a marked departure from standard doctrine, the Protea class frigate eschews attached armor modules in favor of armored drones, giving it the freedom to choose when and where to thrust its oversized ballistic weaponry. It has the Condemn system, supercharges one of the Hex drones and sends it after a target. The drone deals 1,200 energy damage and 600 EMP damage on target, and charging it generates 600 flux. And this is a frigate, sorry if I put my mouse outside, that has 1 small ballistic, 2 small missile, 2 small composite, 2 medium ballistic, and 2 fighter blade slots. This is a very heavily armored frigate. It also has a Knight refit hull mod. And then finally we have the Samash phase frigate. This is a pirate design. While the SRA does what they can to prevent phase ships from falling in the hands of pirates and other destabilizing factors, skirmishing with the hegemony has allowed a fair number of damaged specimens to be acquired and heavily modified by various pirates. Sleek and deadly, the Shamash has, in due large part to her efficient and highly aggressive weapons layout, built a formidable reputation as a hunter-killer frigate. So this has a race system, shoots a quantum gravitational charge at the target, disabling its engines on impact, generates flux. 1 medium ballistic, 3 small ballistics. This sounds incredible, but I think I'm going to go for the Knights Ludd frigate. This seems like a really good frigate to have in your fleet, just a really solid combat frigate. So I'm going to grab this thing. I may have grabbed the wrong one. I don't know, the Tritech Embrawler might be the right choice, but I'm going to grab this thing. So we now have the blueprint for the Protea class. Doesn't mean we've got the ship, but if we find a way to construct ships, we can add this blueprint to the system and print them, basically. All right, we can now do our... We're not going to be able to do a full salvage, but we'll do the best we can. I'm hoping for more cores. Okay, we got some cool stuff here. We're going to grab supplies, fuel, and machinery first. Then we're going to have a look at what we've got here. So we've got some more transplutonics there. We're 200 per unit. I'm just going to grab all of them for right now. There's also organics here, which are worth 30 per unit. Not that exciting. There's another gamma core. We have the VPC for fizzy drinks. So if we wanted to, we could set up a space station that creates, or an outpost or a colony that creates fizzy drinks and then ship them to the main sector. That seems pretty valuable. There's also the VPC conflict package, which lets us produce marines and heavy armaments. Then there is the plasma cannon blueprint, which lets us produce plasma cannons. And there is the Paladin PD system. I think if I remember right, the Paladin is base game and is one of the better point defense energy systems in the game. So that's a nice pickup as well. Now we are over on cargo. So let's drop our metals. And I'm going to drop our ship components as well. They're 120 each. I think they're still worth... I mean, we've got 87 heavy machinery, but... Yeah, actually heavy machinery is worth more, so we'll dump these. We're slightly over. I think we can just eat the extra, and we'll just... Oh, no. These are 200. Yeah, these are 200 per unit. These are 150 per unit. I'm going to drop just a couple of machinery until we're at 419. We'll confirm, and let's just see what else is in the system before we get out of here. We're going to head back to the sector. I think we've done a really good job here. Let's see if anything else shows up on our sensors before we get out of here. I'm just going to cruise slowly through the system. I want to react quickly. Okay, that made me jump. I'm just worried about a remnant fleet just coming out of nowhere. Okay, so we can make the choice now. We can head back to this fringe jump point, or we could check out the outer system jump point. There was something at the inner system jump point, so I'm pretty happy to go and check the outer system jump point as well and see what was over there. See if there's anything there, and then we'll jump out. And we'll set a course back for Tritachyon space, where we can hopefully sell these cores without getting caught. This has been a pretty successful mission so far. I think we're going to make a decent amount of cash from it. Okay, there's nothing by this jump point. We're going to jump out of the system. I may have missed something in the system, but I'm pretty happy with what I found. Okay, there's a remnant fleet patrolling below us. Are we going to make it out before they detect us? We did indeed make it out. Excellent. Okay. We're going to set a... I want to set... we were in the Valhalla system before. We're going to head for Scathy. So I want to set course for the Scathy station. And we're going to let autopilot do its job. And we're going to activate a sustained burn. And just keep an eye out for anything popping up here. That went pretty well. I know we haven't had any battles. Okay, our drive field anomaly has hit the moderate stage. Let's have a look at what that's telling us in the intel screen. So we go to we go to important drive stage anomaly. So, your fleet's drive field has begun to destabilize. Fuel stored in vulnerable ships will be lost more quickly while traversing hyperspace. So we're at plus 100% fuel consumption. At this stage, I don't know what we can do with it. Fuel is protected from the effects of the anomaly as long as it is stored within military-grade ships. Fuel reserve status. We have 288 fuel that is vulnerable. Some fuel is currently stored within vulnerable ships, increasing fuel consumption of fleet by 100% until the unprotected fuel is depleted. So I believe that might be all the fuel in our dram. I thought the dram was protected. Yeah, the dram is not protected. Interesting. The interference with the anomaly has not advanced to the point where you can collect meaningful data similar to traveling through hyperspace. But you'll still collect data for every 10 units of fuel lost due to the effects of the anomaly on the unprotected fuel. So the question is do we have enough fuel to get home if we're at double fuel capacity? It says here that we do, but it's going to use up all of our fuel, from what I can tell. It's going to use up the first number, that's how much we have in storage. I hope I'm reading that correctly, because I do not want to get lost in space. Yeah, we're chewing through fuel at a very high rate, especially when I'm going slow through the storm. But we have to go slow through the storm. We literally can't not go slow through the storm, or we will die. I'm just going to stay slow until we get to that little bit at the end, and then we're going to accelerate again, and then we're going to go slow through the edge of this. Okay, we're passing a system. Do we want to consider popping into Tia to harvest some fuel. There's also the EMA system here. It's going to cost us 49 fuel to get to EMA. The problem with EMA is I don't know what happens if we get caught with AI cores in our cargo if we're in that system. We'll have to play it very careful. There's an Imperium station, a Persian League station, and an Eridani Utopia station. We could potentially try going to the... I don't know anything about the Eridani Utopia. I don't really know much about the Persian League or the Imperium or Shadowyards. To me, Shadowyards seem like the kind of people that might like AI cores, so let's set course for them. Because I'm worried we're going to run out of fuel before we can get to Tritachyon space. We'll probably be fine, but why not? Okay. We're jumping into the EMA system. I want to turn our transponder on just so that nobody comes to scan us because our transponder's off. And let's hope we get here without anyone checking us out. Okay, these guys just did a scan, but that's okay because we're not doing anything that anyone's annoyed with. We're just traders coming into the station. Okay. Your fleet approaches Udana Station. Your fleet transmits identification codes via the transponder, and you are soon granted docking clearance. Drive field stabilized by proximity to a source of gravitonic distortion. Okay. Let's see if we can speak to anyone important here. I'm guessing the Orbital Ops Coordinator might be the person I want to speak to. I would like to turn in these AI cores that I've acquired. I see you found an interesting object there, Captain, and perhaps a very dangerous one. These things are scattered over the outer reaches, blah, blah, blah. Select AI cores to turn in. So they will give us 40,000 bucks for each of these. That seems fine for me. So we get a 200% bounty value and 100% rep gain. I can't remember what Tritac gave us. This may be a bad trade. They will give us 30,000. So we're gonna get 100,000 for trading these in, and we'll get 4. I don't feel like we're getting as high a bounty as we would have from Tritac. I feel like Tritac would have given us more than this. So I want to hold on that. What I'd like to do is... What about the databanks? Okay, we got an error. Never mind about that. We're not going to turn the databanks in. Let's buy some fuel. Alright, I'm not going to trade any of this in. We could drop... Actually, I might drop the Transphotonics just to make a trade. We're not making a lot of money off those. The tariffs are going to hit us pretty hard, but I like to play it safe when I'm in with a faction that I don't know a lot about. These guys can sell fizzy drinks on the open market, which is interesting, but they're not interested in Happy Meals. Let's top up on fuel, and I think that's all we need to buy right now. What have they got? They don't actually have a black market here, or we're too obvious to use a black market, but let's make that trade. And let's go into refit here, and we're going to add in Augs thrusters, and although actually, now that I know that a dram doesn't protect our fuel, I think I'm going to sell this dram. I thought that this would be a better... It's only going to 510 credits. I'm going to sell it. I thought it would do more for us, but if the dram doesn't protect our fuel from the destabilized thing, these have a lot less value to me than I thought, because basically we don't want any civilian ships in our fleet. Oh, by the way, just while we're here, I forgot to mention it before, I disabled the Starship Legends mod. A lot of people told me that it was just going to give me more hassle than it was worth, so whilst it's cool, we've gotten rid of it for now. What have they got for sale, just out of curiosity? That's a cool looking ship. So they've got an Ashnan freighter, they've got a bunch stuff that looks very organic, and then this thing. What is this thing? Originally, the whole ship was a Colossus freighter, but after heavy modifications, it then became a cruiser-sized processor vessel. The built-in processing unit is a mixture of several industrial parts which originate from refining and heavy industry. The ship is rare and can provide good amounts of materials such as metal supply if used on top of big debris fields. The processing unit is responsible for increased crew requirements. So it's basically a giant salvage factory. That's fascinating. On the black market, we've got shuttles, a blitzer. Nothing here that I'm super excited for. We're getting to the stage where I want to pick up a destroyer, but I don't want a buffalo, that's for sure. Okay, let's try a different station. So we're going to leave here. Let's save the game because the game is telling me to save. Now there is an Imperial embassy here. Let's see what they've got for us. As long as nobody is chasing us or scanning us, we should be fine. Patrolling. They've got very small presence here. Alright. The faint yellow of Emus Corona seeps past Huskar silhouette. I'm not going to read the flavor text for stations. Let's see what we've got going on here. We'll speak to the Rector. I'd like to turn these AI cores.
As the Imperium is not treaty bound to destroy that AI card in your position, we're more than willing to reward you for releasing it to us. Each one should be used to put you serving our glorious society. The Legate smiles, grimly whispers conspiracy. I'm sure they will be thankful to return one of the treasured brethren to the Imperium. So they're giving 200% bounty value, 200% rep gain. So for handing both of these in, we'll get 100 grand. So again, I don't think I'm that happy. Will you take the data banks? No, we'll get a no pointer exception for you as well. What have you got for sale? Nothing that exciting. We've got some LPCs and stuff here. We're going to leave that for right now. What I will do is quickly check if you've got a better gun than this heavy blaster. There's a Custis Defender, an all business point defense, no. Or the particle gun. No, these are small mounts. I want a large mount. What about that Custer PD? It's actually more ordnance, same ordnance points as the burst, but the particle gun, a low-cost, low-performing point defense weapon, surprisingly effective when deployed in numbers. We could swap out the burst PDs for these and free up a lot of points for this ship. Because I would say the burst PD lasers are overkill for a frigate. Let's try these particle guns. That frees up quite a lot of points. I could look at slapping some Hullmods on here. I think what I'd like to do is see if we can maybe get some better missiles than these two Salamander MRMs. There's Sabos here. Sabos are really nice. They will destroy shields. We've got Salamanders on here. The other option is to go with Harpoons, like we've got here, and the Harpoons will destroy engines. I think I'm going to go... I'm thinking about going in with two Sabos on this ship. We don't actually have a... This ship isn't... Oh, actually, that was one Sabo. There's only one Sabo available. The other one's on the black market. Okay, that's fine. We're still a little bit under on points. Is there anything interesting I could put on this slot? There's a railgun here. High-tech improvement to the autocannon. The railgun fires accurate medium-range slugs. Like the autocannon, it excels at overwhelming enemy shield generators. There's an Arcus autocannon. This high-tech, high-velocity autocannon trades overall kinetic damage for improved efficiency. Ideal for ships with excess weapon slots, fast and accurate. It's a little bit hard to outfit the ships at this point. I don't like leaving a wolf with 7 ordnance points left. But at the same time, I don't really have anything to spend. What I'd like to do is replace this Graviton beam with something better. So I think we'll just sit on that for now. What do they have for sale? There's a gunship, a missile frigate, which is quite a cool idea. These are cool looking ships. I quite like the design, especially this Basilius. It looks really cool. What about, there's a large tanker here on the black market. They've got a Praetorian destroyer for 42,000. It's got a D-mod though. Let's keep looking. I'm probably chasing a wild goose here, thinking that Tritac will pay more than 200%, but I'd like to keep going. There's an abandoned siphon station there. There's a Persian League station here. Let's try all of these. Let's see what the Persian League will do with AI cores. This is where I find someone who hates AI cores and will just kill me for even breaching the subject of AI cores. Did you? Okay. I was like, what are you guys doing? But they're guarding the nav boy. We'll just slow down through the asteroid belt. We'll speed up time. They're guarding as well. And then there's a Persian League planet here. What have you got for me? So we'll speak to their portmaster. Oh, nope. He will not take... do I need to speak to someone else? Maybe the admin? There we go. The next one finds us. We can't have factions that would seek to impose their tyranny over the sector to accumulate these dangerous objects. So they'll pay 150, 150. So there are differences. Okay. Well, 200 is the best so far, and that's from the Imperials. Let's see what the Irdani Utopia will give us. I actually forgot to check everything else they have for sale. I want to get these AI cores off my back ASAP. I feel them burning a hole in my pocket, because if I get caught by them by someone who doesn't really understand what's going on, I'll be in a lot of trouble. Alright, what have you got for me? Base Commander. AI cores. A fascinating offer. Why? If one of the major factions caught you with these, they might just seize them outright. Tell you what, I'll do you a favor and give you a good price. 100, 100? That's not a good price. You're only going to give me 50? Nah, that's terrible. What do you have for sale? Whoa, okay, there's a lot of stuff for sale here. But what I'm thinking is I might just dump these organs for 699 per unit on the black market here and get out. Yeah. But then if I make too much noise, I don't want to raise suspicion. Let's not do that. Quickly check what they've got for sale. They've got a lot of stuff for sale. A lot of freighters, some salvage rigs, the Haymaker, Lashers, Cerberus. I've never seen this refit of the Cerberus before. That's what the Cerberus usually looks like. Nothing that exciting. I can't buy from their military, but they've got a lot of ships for sale in the military section. On the black market, a cool looking asteroid cruiser, combat freighter, Condor light carrier. I can't wait to get my hands on some of these bigger ships. Alright. Rather than just humming and hawing about it, I think I'm just going to give it to the imps, and then that's it done. And we can move on with maybe another exploration mission or something like that. I'm aware that I've just flown around a lot so far for this video, and we're probably going to make a lot of money, but maybe not the most exciting content. Zip through here. But that's like how I like to play, you know? I thought we're trying to play pretty smart here. You may not be chasing me. No, standing there for patrol duty. Alright, let's speak to this rector again. Hey, I'd like to turn these AI cores that I found that I told you I didn't have. 100,000 grand will cover it for me. Alright, and that's the Imperium quite happy with us. So, we're topped up on fuel. We've got a lot of supplies. We've got tons of metals. We're carrying a lot of mod specs and stuff right now. I could learn... What are you? Anomaly data. Oh, we can sell the... data chips containing raw data of scientific significance, which typically consisting of high-resolution sensories and anomalous... Okay, we'll just sell these. I'm going to go back and sell these for $6.99 each. That's insane. And then I think we're going to head out to somewhere else. I might want to pick out an emergency fuel scoop. Terribly inefficient, expensive, bulky, and sensitive, and usually cared for with almost religious fervor, as no other piece of machinery has saved more spaces from a slow, cold death in the far reaches of space. Extracts volatiles from stars or debris within 3,000 solar units or space units and converts them into fuel. More efficient on young and large sources. Stays active for 3 days, stops providing fuel when out of range of a source. It's going to cost me 14,000 to pick up. I'm going to grab one of these, just so we've got one. Let's confirm that trade. I don't have any other things to sell. I mean, I've got all of this stuff, and I feel bad carrying it around. I would like to set somewhere up, maybe, where we could store it. We're gonna head back over to Quarus here, and I'm gonna sell these Happy Meals now that I don't care about being scanned, because they're the only legal thing I'll be carrying. So if I do annoy them, it's not the end of the world. I think there was an abandoned ship or something back there. And then I think we're gonna pick a new destination to head out to. The Hegemony are it looks like the Hegemony are at war with the Persian Lake. What was that? Okay, it's a Hegemony merchant convoy. I like how their patrols are hiding in the asteroid belt here. It's pretty scary. Okay, we're gonna trade goods, black market. We're gonna dump these. They made a really gross noise. I didn't like that at all. What about refits? We'll confirm that. What about refits? Let's see. Do you have something better than a graviton beam? Mini blaster array, a cheap PD capable weapon. No. Flicker PD lasers. I've heard these are good. There's a bunch of these for sale here. They use 3 ordnance points each. Or there's mining blasters. But there's really nothing to replace this. I mean, I could replace the particle guns with the flickers, which I think I will do, because I've heard that flickers are good. That still leaves me with 5 ordnance points available. What's it made in MRM? Homes on a target disables weapons and systems with a powerful EMP burst. A combat-rated auto system ensures shieldness and protected engagements. They sound actually really nice. There's 2 of them on here. That takes us to 50. And then anything good I could put in the middle. A contender cannon. A high caliber anti-armor weapon. Sacrifices sustained fireball for excellent armor penetration. There's so much stuff available that sometimes it's very easy to get overwhelmed by just going through the options. I think we'll take this refit for now. So we've got the maiden MRMs, we've replaced the flickers. We're still quite over on ordnance points here, but I think we're looking okay. Let's see what's going on down here. You keep the drinks flowing and mostly just listen, letting Spacer burn herself. She's told us about a pirate base at Nessun Ululia. Find out what the rakish woman at the bar is up to. The woman watches your approach. You want in the business, that right? She says, amusing your audacity. Let me give you a job so easy that any rad adult spacer could manage it. But it's a real shame how many of them just can't follow instructions and end up tossed out an airlock. Deliver the item to the specified location in the Acheron system, 17 light years away. She flips a tripod out of her coat. The display shows a glowing blue crystal in a steel tube. This is it, 73,000 credits. Don't be seen making the drop, and don't tell anyone about it. So Acheron is an unexplored system. What I don't know about Acheron is if there's anywhere to refuel there. And if you have a look at this thing, it's right outside our return fuel range, which is actually half of that, because as we travel, we're going to need more fuel. So I'm going to decline that for right now. What's the privateering arrangement? That's also too far away. Okay. Let's have a look at our intel map and see if there's a system. So there's the Atlan system has been explored. The Nereka system has been explored, but that gives us a base to get to the 99ES star system, or the 86. Oh no, we can't go to the art. That's got a forward operating base by Diable Avionics. Although both of these have forward operating bases by Diable Avionics, but we could buy fuel at them. Okay, they also have bases at the outer terminus star system. I wish I'd known about that because I could have headed there from Milimbo. Okay, we could head out to the outer terminus star system, and from here, try and maybe we could explore these systems here. So let's set a course for Nereka, and then we'll move to 90S, and then we'll move to outer terminus, and we'll see what we can do out there. That's my plan. Oh, we're being chased for our horrible black market activities. They're gonna give up. They did an emergency burn after us, which runs out of speed after a few seconds. And if we don't get caught, they can't make us lose reputation standing. Okay, I'm gonna turn off our transponder. I'm gonna head out into the dark. Oh, hello. Well, I think we're being chased. What are you? This is an unidentified fleet of some very badly damaged ships. Well, I would quite like to find out how our new setup works. So let's hit these pirates, or maybe these Luddites. They're pirates. The pirate fleet maneuvers to prevent you from disengaging easily. It does not appear to be concerned with your identity. Hostiles. Okay, so we've got 2 badly damaged Cerberuses, a badly damaged Mudskipper. We have to be careful about this thing because it has a built-in massive cannon and a boulder missile shuttle. This thing can also be quite nasty because I didn't mean to do that. I actually made a comment to them. This thing can carry a lot of missiles. I don't think it tells me what it's got. Yeah, 2 Sable SRMs, and then this thing is carrying a Hellbore cannon, which is a massive. They've basically taken all the guns off, everything off the ship, and just put one massive gun on it. And the Cerberuses don't have shields. So let's move into engage, and I'm going to continue, and I'm going to deploy all 3 of my combat ships, and hopefully I'm not going to die. First combat of the video. So we have to make good use of our cloak. So I actually accidentally activated our EMP, which is not a good start. I actually fired both of our torpedoes as well, but one of them hit and absolutely wrecked him. Let's come in and just try to finish this guy off with our antimatter blasters. Once we get close, we'll start seeing how much damage these things do. And that's a dead in 3 hits. But look at the flux. Let's vent. And our other ship is in trouble. This is the one we should have been supporting, actually. He's in a lot of trouble. It's Disable our SRMs. They can do a lot. Actually, I want to take this guy out because he's just a danger. That's the Hellbore. I should have taken that hit. Okay, he's dead. We took a lot of damage from that Hellbore. Those are those MRMs. The other wolf is coming in to help. And that's another kill. So this guy is still having a lot of problems with getting overheated. The SRMs, the Sabos, overloaded his shields and just put him in a horrible location. I don't want to recover any of these ships. They were terrible. Let's pick through the wreckage. We'll grab the supplies, we'll grab the fuel, we'll grab the one guy that survived, we'll grab the metals. We will definitely be grabbing the Hellbore cannon. A huge cannon which fires slow-moving plasma charged projectiles. Rounds are highly effective versus armor and obliterate any hull structure left underneath, as we saw. We'll also grab the Sabos, the light machine gun, and the light mortar. I'm over on capacity right now, but they'll go to some extra supplies, and they'll be used up really quickly because, actually, I'm going to take all the supplies because we are actually, and we'll take, I'm not going to take extra fuel. What's going to happen is we're going to use extra supplies anyway to repair the ships back to combat readiness, so that's not a problem. Are you coming for us? No, taking pilgrims to a shrine. You're not going to attack us, right? Oh, you have 5 story points to spend. Officer promotion candidate, skill, ballistic mastery, personality, timid. Now, I don't know how to promote an officer. Oh, I do it from here, okay. A junior officer, Abasi Standard, has distinguished himself recently as worthy of consideration of the command of a ship. His skill is ballistic mastery. His personality is timid. I don't want timid officers in my fleet. There's nobody using ballistics at the moment anyway. So he is not worth picking up. Let's activate our bird drive and we'll just float gently through here. Are you guys having fun in the nebula? Now that we're out of the storm, we will go back to full speed. Your fleet is over cargo capacity, that's fine. You can see that we're using a lot of supplies, but it's going down as ships are being brought back online for repairs. Okay, we're coming into the Kala system. Nope, okay, it's just a scientific scavenger. Neutral scientific scavenger. Interesting. I want to jump in on the edge of the system. We'll turn the transponder on because I don't know what I'm coming into. And we're looking... Okay, we're really far out of the system. Let's head to Nachikita and we will restabilize our drive field. And we will also get some more fuel. Although we haven't used up that much fuel yet. That's all of our ships repaired. Don't want to fly through the belt at high speed. I love looking at our little ships all just flying around. I think it's very cool. We've got an inner belt here as well. I think we're going to skim this. I think we'll be okay. Won't have to slow down. Alright, let's dock. So, trade goods. Let's grab the fuel. Let's have a quick look to see if they've got anything to replace the this heavy blaster. A plasma flamer. This weapon sprays plasma in a coherent stream drawing from an internal fuel tank. Poor range, but very flux efficient. I don't think I want to put a flamethrower. Oh, it sounds hilarious. I don't think I want to put a... Oh, I'm so tempted. Like, it's going to be better than the heavy blaster, right? The heavy blaster's not really doing much work for me. It's very expensive. 1,200 credits per flamer. Range is 450. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put a flamethrower on this ship because I think it's better than the heavy blaster. I hope that nobody has... Let's see how this thing performs. I'll go up against a Cerberus. Okay, so I'm controlling the plasma flamer. Everything else... No, I'm not. I'm going to just control the harpoons. And I have a... I need to check that I have a shield. Okay. There's the flamer. Oh my god, the flamer's great! I'm gonna back off because we're gonna overheat. Okay, the flamer isn't great, but it's hilarious. Let's come back in again. I accidentally turned my sight onto him and got wrecked. So maybe the flamer isn't such a good idea. I kind of want to keep it just for how hilarious it is. This ship is probably a disaster now, but I'll keep it on for now. Is there anything I can replace this IR pulse laser with? We might actually run one burst PD on here. Anything else that looks interesting? I like Needler. I think Needlers are quite good. They're anti-shield weapon. Vulcan cannon, Saber SRM. I think this is 5 OP. This is 6 ordnance points. It's 1 ordnance points for the burst PD, but we're already over. No, I think we're good. Let's not get greedy. Alright, let's leave. Our drive field has been stabilized, and we want to move on to the next system, which is 99 ES. Our goal is to check out these places here. So we're basically coming to Outer Terminus. We're going to head up here. We're going to head back. We're going to use Outer Terminus as a base to do some surveying. So let's head out. There is another station here, but we're on a mission. I really want to get my hands on a destroyer. Like, I'd love to salvage a really nice destroyer. Whoa, you're going fast. What just happened? What just happened? I think there was I think it was maybe this market getting captured. My earth was that noise, but I've never heard that noise before. That gave me the fright, especially with those, these pilgrims. They're pilgrimaging to... Oh, they're those ones we saw before, I think. How are we doing for fuel? Fuel is going fine. Whoa, 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 what are you? Okay, it's the Diable Avionics commerce fleet running from the pilgrims. Yeah, they just wrecked themselves flying through that, that hyperspace storm. Oh, hello. Are you a ship? You are. A Mudskipper class transport. Well, we can salvage it. We're not going to pick it up. It's a Mudskipper. That's it. Okay, we'll grab the 3 supplies. We'll take it all. We can sell the stuff if we need to. Let's jump into the inner system point. I hope Diable Avionics are not evil, by the way. I'm assuming that they are neutral. I should... Hang on. Let's just quickly check that. Factions. Diable Avionics. They are suspicious. Though nothing has been proven yet, Diable Avionics officials tend to view you with distrust. Link access to port authorities granted only grudgingly, and you find yourself subject to investigation and harassment frequently. A fairly recent addition to the sector, direct contact is heavily discouraged. Their purpose seems to be reclaiming the sector in the name of the Old Dominion. Their backers have yet to be seen, but rumors all generally point to well-trained, militarized organization. So they don't hate us, but we have to be careful. Okay, staging point Eclipse. An imposing station well equipped to deal with enemies and repossessing ships alike. This incredibly massive structure is the central hub of all military operations of the Diable Avionics Corporation in the sector and houses one of their 2 auto factories. Its construction began before the Great Collapse, was not finished until long after. Most of the components were already delivered when the gate shut down, and some of the missing parts were critically important. Even after cannibalizing the other planned stations for their components, the station was unable to be brought fully online. It took 2 fortunes and an age to build up the required resources and blueprints of modules that could be adapted to the station design. While efficiency is somewhat reduced, it is still a force to be reckoned with. Okay. Well, hopefully they let us dock. Yes, they did. Okay, cool. Let's repair our ships and let's see what they've got for trade. So what we're looking for here is fuel. They openly sell fizzy drinks and Happy Meals, which is interesting. They also have their own set of weapons. There's also some other stuff for sale here. Let's have a look at what they've got. First of all, for refits. Oh, I want to sell this stuff on the open market just because I can. So again, I want something to replace this flamer if I can. Burst PD Particle. Okay, they do have some stuff. These things here all require more ordnance points, but they've got a state support beam, an intermittent beam weapon consisting of a pair of linked positron emitters, low range compared to contemporary beams with packs a superior punch, and a lance repeater, a heavy oscillating meson emitter array with a high damage potential but somewhat held back by its limited number of capacitors. These sound like they all will be using up a lot of flux, and I don't think I already have the capacity for that. You could maybe take one. A small, single-barreled, rapid-loading, energized fusion bolt projectile. The weapon fires small darts of vaporized heavy elements in a grid pattern, a generation method that benefits from higher flux levels. The high-velocity, high-temperature, high-density particles have a decent effect on armor. Projectiles deal 100% extra damage the higher the firing ship's flux level is, capping out at 175% flux. Or we've got this thing. A meson emitter array with high damage potential, but someone held by its limited numbers. This is range 700, range 700. This is 80 times 6 damage. This is 330 damage. So I think this is a higher damage potential. But this is a sustained higher damage. So this is a... Yeah, I think this is better for an AI to control, I believe. We're still under by ordnance points. I would really like to swap this flamer out for something if I could. But I can't afford the ordnance points for either of these. Let's just have a look. If I put the Hexafire on here, for example, I could go back to the particle guns and then put a burst PD on. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Weapon groups, let's try that out. And let's just run a simulation with it. Again, I'll fight a Cerberus and hopefully not make a fool of myself by dying to it, but that could very easily happen. He's coming for us. He's coming hard. Okay, this is a very slow firing weapon. It's not building up that much flux though. Okay, we're actually doing some decent damage here, but it's not actually the Hexaflux that's doing the damage. As a support weapon, I think this is pretty good. Who's going to get in? Let's just back off. Okay, we got him. I was going to say we could vent. I think that works. It's not a great build. The particle guns are amazing just for the noise they make, and for that reason they're going to hold for now. Let's just check the other wolf and make sure that it is playable as well. I want to use the maiden MRMs and let everything else control itself. Where's our enemy? He's burning in fast. Oh wow, that is a long range pew pew. Okay, that is just doing work. Our flux is super high though. I didn't notice how high our flux was, and then I crashed into the asteroid. Luckily, our enemy is badly damaged right now. Let's just back out and we'll vent. Didn't mean to turn around. That was a mistake on my behalf. He's closing. Can't get our shields up yet. I can get our shields up now. That's okay. Okay, I really like that gun. That gun seems exceptionally good. The other gun, not too sure about, but I think I'm happy with the builds for now. We'll keep them as is. What about ships to buy? Just to see what they've got available. All of their ships. That is a cool looking frigate. I don't care if it's bad. I love the shape of it. A frigate with a solid frontal profile capable of absorbing a large amount of damage for its class. The broadside facing missile mine slightly limits loadout operations. So it's a broadside missile frigate. This brisk here hasn't got any D-mods. The brisk is one of the newer designs provided by Diable Avionics Corp. A post-collapse design, the usual shape and asymmetric look compared to previously seen frigates with a weaker choice of armaments make it stand as an ugly duckling. But any captain officer stationed at brisk has been able to attest the durability and reliability of the ship. Generates a protective wave, reducing incoming damage and repelling the ship in a desired location. 4 small hybrid and 2 micro missiles. There's also the Vapor, but it's got D-mods. There's the Chinook tanker. Is this a military tanker? How can I tell if this is a military ship or if it is a... I need to know if this is... I need to know if the Chinook is a military ship or a civilian ship. I don't know how to check that. I'm looking. If anyone in the comments can tell me how to confirm if a ship is military or not, this might be a great pickup. Same with this freighter. Support destroyer, troop transports. This thing looks insane. That looks amazing. What have we got on the black market? Okay, they got a lot of junk on the black market. A lot of junk. There's a draft here for 10k. There's a Predator X. A working example of a chip bash. Oh, I'm not that excited by it. The Vapor frigate. Is this a phase frigate? A nimble ultralight frigate chassis with a heavy frontal armament capable of disrupting fleet operations as easily despite its subpar point defense weapons. Okay. The first response fast attack frigate. Okay, there's nothing else here I really want. We've got our fuel. Let's get out of here. Now let's save again. And let's check our system map and our sector map. And we want to head out to Outer Terminus and find out what the hell is going on over here. This is a really good place to just hang out. Oh, they're pursuing us. Let's just get out of here. I don't want Diable Avionics. Why are they pursuing? Oh, I probably bought some weapons in the black market there without thinking about it. But I don't want to make them angry with us. Like I would, if they're operating this far out in the black, I would actually quite like them on our side. So we're pushing really far out into deep space now. But we have this lifeline of Diable Avionics stations that we can use to get us back to the central sector when we want to do that. My goal here is really just to find a very cool... let's just jump into the middle of the system. Let's not jump into the outer point. Is to find ourselves a very cool destroyer somewhere out here. Okay, we jumped in right next to their station. So they have the Civ station and the Belt Operation station. An enormous space station which can host shipyard. Okay, this is just a generic space station. So they've got... Seen the Eden-like planet turn into a hellish place. Okay, they turned this one... It says they've turned one of the nicest planets in the whole sector into a prison. So they sound like great people. Right, we'll top up on fuel again. Glow-Tusk linear rifles. Grave HMCs. There's some really cool stuff here, but we're going to leave it for now. We have a mission to complete. How are we doing on cargo space? We're actually really full on cargo space at the moment, which is a problem. Because it means we can't really pick up a lot of stuff. Now, I could pay for storage here. For 5,000 credits, I can open a storage bay here and put a lot of stuff. And I actually think that might be worth it because I'll be coming back here a lot. I just have to remember that I've got this here. So I'm going to pay 5,000 credits for storage here. And we're going to store all of the weapons that we've picked up so far. All of the LPCs and VPCs, etc. Now, we still have a lot of cargo space available. Like, that is... needs to be picked up. I'm wondering about picking up another freighter. The Virtue isn't doing a lot on its own. Oh, by the way, I didn't have names for the Virtus and the Quirinus. I will take name suggestions from comments on this video. If there aren't any, I'll just pull them from the Terra Invicta ship naming list before my next recording. Do you have any... Yeah, you got these Stratus freighters. Freight transport is almost always a jury task, except when it's not. So to make this exciting for those deployed in frontier logistics, the strategy is your friend. The ship compromises hauling capacity for the reduced signature of military drives and hidden survivability compared to same-class competitors. A sturdy military frigate with just enough weapon mounts to deter small-time pirates, somewhat limited in cargo capacity, but fast and discreet. So its cargo capacity is 250. What's the cargo capacity on our ship? 130. So it's still got double the cargo capacity, essentially, of the Virtus. It would give us a lot. We're going to need to pick up some crew, though, to go with it. I'm really tempted to grab a Chinook and a Stratus and get rid of the two that we currently have, because I feel like these are a much better choice. Ooh, cool looking destroyer here. We could pick up a Stratus in the black market. Again, I am concerned. I am very concerned about making an enemy of these guys. So I think I'll pick it up on the white market. And I think I'm going to grab a Chinook as well. Basically, and then we're going to go back here, and I think I'm going to sell the Dram and the Virtus. Because I don't think I need these anymore. And that kind of balances things out a little bit. And now we're going to go back here. We're going to grab some more crew. And we're going to top up on fuel. And then hopefully, if we go into Intel, we check important, we check this. Yes, all of our fuel is protected in militarized fuel cells. So we don't need to worry. Okay, that's not bad at all. Right, we're going to head to the Alpha Kaysaar system. And we're going to see what's there. Okay, so we've just upgraded to a military freighter and a military... They're actually destroyer-sized military fuel ship. But I think that's worth it. It does limit our maximum burn speed, I believe. We can't quite go at 20 anymore, but we're still going fast enough that I'm not too concerned. So let's turn off our transponder. I feel a lot safer now traveling around. So we need names for these two ships. Our military freighter and our military... God, there's a big hyperspace storm between these two systems. This is not a safe journey. There's also the end of a hyperspace transport tube down here. So you can drive through these and they will push you along at a very high speed. They can be a big problem if you're running from someone and you get stuck in one. All right, what have we got here? First of all, no beacon that I can see. Let's just check there's no beacon over here. No, there's no beacon. I don't know if this is a linked system or not, but let's jump into this fringe jump point and see what we're dealing with. Okay, instantly picked something up over here, and there's a domain era probe. Well, we know we can get cores out of these, so let's do that first. Let's explore. Derelict domain era survey ship location. The probe's memory banks are partially accessible and contain information pointing to the location of a domain era survey ship. It was last seen by this probe located inside an asteroid belt on the outer edge of the Telephassa star system. We've got enough to do a salvage operation. Let's see what we grab. Looking for cores. No cores. We've got this. We'll grab this. These are worth a decent amount. These are worth the same as metals, so we'll grab what we can for now. We'll probably end up dumping them. Now, is there a big enough debris field? No, there's no debris field. I was going to say, is there a big enough debris field to, like, salvage again? I don't think there is. Okay, our monthly expenses have gone up considerably. What have we got here? There's another domain era probe, okay? By the way, what is the rest of this? Okay, there's not much else in this system. It's just these probes. Okay, whoa, what do we get? Your salvage crews find a partially accessible data core that contains hyperspace topography data. The data is well out of date, but that makes it particularly valuable to extrapolate current trends, okay? Don't really know what that's useful for. Let's see what we can salvage. Okay, we've not got a lot. We've got some relic components, which we'll grab all of. There's also some volatiles here, which are worth more than these. And that's really all we can grab. Oh, we just want the supplies and the fuel. We've gone over on supplies right now, but that's okay, because we'll just use up extra supplies. I want to do a ping to see if there's anything on the other side of the star. There isn't. Let's jump out of here. I'm sorry we didn't get any cores out of this probe. So let's find out what's going on in this system here. Into the Cardivesh system. There's nothing in the Cardivesh star system. Let's just try a pulse. We've got planetary data. Is this system bigger? Okay, this system is much bigger than I thought it was. Sorry, my throat was getting a little bit dry. Let's jump out here and we'll jump back into one of those other jump points rather than... Oh, actually, use fuel up. Let's just head north. I'm so sorry. Let's head... we'll head towards this metallic... Oh, wait, are we actually off the... Okay, we're actually, like, off the map. Let's head to the sun and see what we can find. Oh, I didn't mean to emergency burn. I meant to do a sustained burn. I'm curious to see if there's anything actually, like, in the system. We're going slow through this this huge belt. Damn, this is massive. Okay, nothing from that sensor sweep. This is crazy. So much. Wow. Well, we found a pretty cool looking system. This is like it's forming. Nothing on active sensor. Let's keep pushing forward. I wonder if I can just fly fast through these rings. You can't for all rings, but it looks like I can for these, which is good. Mother Night is where we are apparently. All right, we need to cover some open space here. Let's see if there's anything near this jump point. Sometimes you can find stuff. Okay, this looks like a serious asteroid belt here. Oh, yeah. That's an active ship, I think. Is that an active ship? We're kind of coming nice and quiet. No, this is Domain Area Probe. Okay. I got excited for a second. I thought it was a battleship or something. Right, let's hit this probe up and see what we can get out of it. As your fleet moves closer, several energy signatures are coming alongside inside the probe's hold. The opposing fleet's commanding corps has the following subroutines, which replicate the roles of executive officers. Automated ships and magnetic shielding prevents all damage from solar current and similar hazards, plus 25p EMP resistance in combat. So these are defense drones. Okay, let's jump in with. I don't know how difficult these are going to be, so we'll just jump in with everything. We're not going to need to use our torpedoes here, but we'll play it nice and safe. Okay, one of them's already coming really close, but our wolf's vectoring to deal with it. Let's deal with this one. The other one's right by. This one actually looks the scariest one. I think that's a thumper that it's got equipped with. Okay, this one's coming in on us. He's being a bit funny. Oh, those are flares. I was a bit worried about that. I'm going to EMP him in a second. I'm going to try and get behind him if I can. Okay, I think I killed him before the EMP actually did anything. Yeah, he does have a thumper. We're going to drive this way around him. See how time slows down when I'm in my my little bubble? Got him with a torpedo. That was nice. I'm struggling a little bit with getting behind people and the way I'm controlling my game, but I think it's working out okay. So we won that battle. I don't think we took too much damage there. Let's pick through the wreckage. We got ourselves a flare gun, a light mortar, and a Vulcan. We'll grab the supplies, we'll grab the heavy materials, we'll grab the fuel. We'll grab the extras because we've got repairs to do. Let's continue. Okay, we get some experience. As your fleet finishes with defenses, a weak hyperwave ping is detected coming from the probe. We had that happen before. Let's see what we can salvage from the probe. Please get me a core. No core. So we got some more exotics. I don't think we've got room for really anything else. I'll grab the supplies. We don't need the fuel right now. We're topped up on fuel. And there's nothing else really worth money here. I'm going to keep ourselves over. No, I'm not. I'm going to drop this down. There's no point in being over when they're only worth 30 each. Okay, so we found a probe. Let's head over to the Sagan, to the planet Sagan, and see what we can find over there. I've never found... I've done... Oh, what is this? A pulsar beam. I don't know if we should be here or not. Oh wait, is the planet acting as a... Yeah, the planet is protecting us from the pulsar beam. If we just come back over this way... Oh, it's actually out of it. Okay, so the system has a... This is a red supergiant. It's got a rotating pulsar. You can see it moving around the system. Anything here? Do we have enough to perform a survey? No, we don't. Do we actually? We've got enough crew. Yeah, we do. We can actually perform a survey. So let's survey this planet. Moderate ore deposits, sparse rare ore deposits, and we got class 1 survey data. We can establish a colony here. I'm not going to do that, but we can start. We can now mine planets. We can now survey systems, which is great.
Let's head over to this system. It looks like there's never been anyone living in this system, but you never know for certain until you've checked all the planets. So again, perform a survey. We don't have enough people for this survey. Let's just do a ping. No. But spooky music is what we've got. It's like this is a dead system and the game's trying to tell us that. I'm keeping an eye on how many supplies we have. We're using 3.7 a day at the moment. So we will have to pull back soon. Especially we're using 40 per survey. But we can actually use these abundant ore deposits and class 1 survey data. Okay. I don't think we're actually really making out very well on how much we're going to be able to sell this survey data for compared to how much it's costing us to gather. Where else is there worth checking? That's what it is. There's a neutron star here as well. What is that? There's an automated shipyard here. Let's check this volcanic world, and then we're going to check out the automated shipyard. I thought this was an abandoned system. It clearly is not an abandoned system. Somebody was here in the past, and they built an automated shipyard. I wonder what that could do for us. Okay, volcanic world, probably unsurveyable, probably nothing interesting here. Yeah, I'm not going to bother surveying it. I want to check out that shipyard. I just wanted to come around to the... Let's see what we've got going on here. The silent rings of this massive auto factory loom in front of a violent star. Heat shields blackened by stellar emissions. Pillars of machinery, almost gothic in their complicated shapes and decorations, show the reverence with which this old station was built and kept, which obviously did not save it from abandonment. And it's orbiting the star, as we can see. Wow, look at this image. In its eternal glory, it shall reward sacrifice with blessings. Long banners of decaying synthwave illuminated by chandeliers and wall sconces line the massive landing base, tattered yet inspiring awe nonetheless. Though omnipresent religious iconography, it becomes clear that the soul contained in the relic core is very old and not human. The central chamber is lined by engraved golden walls detailing the journey of an ancient being, constructing a shell befitting its grand image as it extinguishes star after star to fuel itself, forever roaming from a searching golden eye. Your shipboard historian posits some of the smaller icons depicting robed humans presented with strange specific offerings. So it wants 10,000 metals, 1,000 heavy machinery, and 4,000 ship components will allow us to restore the machine to function. I don't know about you, but I think we have found ourselves a quest that we need to complete as soon as possible. Now, taking 10,000 metals, 1,000 heavy machinery, and 4,000 ship components here is going to be pretty difficult. But we could make it happen. A few freighters. I think I know what we're going to be working towards in the next few videos. We're going to bring whatever this thing is back to life and see what it spits out. For now, however, I think that's enough Starsector. So I'm going to end the video here. I know this was a bit more of an exploring sector video, not just like full-on combat, but I've really enjoyed wandering around deep space, and I hope you have too. And I hope that you are enjoying the series. Please let me know if you are, and I'll catch you in the next video. I've got some pack stuff coming. I've got a new Nebulous video coming, and obviously Xenonauts on the way as well. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. I hope you had a lovely morning, noon, or night, and I'll see you in the next video. But for now, catch you later. Ciao for now.